Studying the book Unbroken, for me, was an incredible experience.
It's actually probably one of my favorite books now.
Before I had read the book, I felt like I was in a box.
I usually am not one for war stories, so when we started it, I was not expecting to enjoy it as much as I did. But as we got into it, it became less about war and more about being able to find yourself even in dark times and knowing that there is hope.
The Unbroken Curriculum is about educating the whole student. It's important that academically, socially, emotionally, we make connections with students, we get them engaged in the classroom.
We read the complete novel, we watch the film, and then I turn it out to them. I have the students get in small groups and say, what do they think about this situation? How would they have struggled differently? Do they see themselves in that story?
All right, guys, now that we've talked about it within our rafts, let's talk about it as a class.
I think it really encouraged a lot of people to share their own stories, because once they read what Louis was going through, they finally felt like they had a place that they could share themselves.
When we did the assignment letters to Louis, where we talked about how the book impacted us, some of them were personal things that you would have never known about a person. And it kind of puts into perspective the whole idea of you don't know what someone's going through, so you just have to have the empathy and the respect for them and just imagine what they're going through.
I felt like I let the world off my shoulders because I finally got my story out there. People were judging me for being the bad kid, the kid that nobody wanted to be around. And when I read that story, everything changed.
Even though Louis has passed on, his story continues to teach us a lesson. He's always kind of there on your shoulder, like, see, never judge a book by its cover. I think that is the power that can change high schools.
Studying Unbroken has really pushed my limits and made me want to do more with my life.
It gave me the message to never give up. Even through the tough times, you just have to keep fighting through.
No matter the circumstances, you can come back from anything and be successful.
And I feel that's really what the Unbroken Curriculum does, is it allows those students to feel that comfort level of this is my story, this is where I am, and this is what Louis went through, that was his journey. And because he went through that, I can go through my journey.
It takes your breath away. And it's so hard to find words to describe Unbroken and how Louis' story impacts us.
With this story told in this way in school districts across the country, it's having an effect on these kids that's going to last them their entire lives.
I was inspired to go and forgive all my enemies, to say, I forgive you for putting me in pain.
I could tell that all of us were impacted by it one way or another. And now I think we're all closer because of that.
We think when we want to engage kids that we need to, buy the next best thing, the next piece of technology that's going to reach kids. And we put a book in their hand and we let them talk.
When you combine the book with the roundtable discussions, they found themselves in the book, so it became much easier for them to talk to each other.
It was just kind of like an open environment. Like, you could say something and somebody might agree with this, somebody might disagree, but if they disagree about it, they will make a valid point.
Witnessing some of the discussions that they get to have about overcoming their own struggles in their life, having hope, they have an understanding that they are not alone, that they are not the only people who have struggles. Those are some pretty awesome lessons that they're learning.
They're developing a passion in the classroom. And this is a curriculum that has come into our school district. It's just caught on fire. We have teachers coming up and saying, what are you doing differently that I'm not doing? Because kids are excited about learning. So how can I take what you're doing and apply it to my subject, to English, to math, to social studies?
And I think it's a really cool way to learn world geography. It's not just learning from a textbook. You actually get to involve yourself in and put yourself in his shoes and follow his journey, and I think that's really cool.
Of course I'm gonna go through things, and of course I'm gonna have my battles, but I have this person to almost lean on to show me that I have somewhere I can go, and I know that if I keep my head up, it just might bring me to the other side.